All right, my friends, welcome. Friday morning yoga. It's beautiful to have you here. Let's start by taking our hands together and just lightly rub your palms and interlace your fingers while you do this. Just kind of switching, massaging, just lightly touching the insteps, inseams of your fingers. Start to be with your breath. And now turn this into like a circling. So you like circle your palms. And close your eyes. And listen to the sound you're creating. Soften your jaw. Peach. Good. And then whichever way you're circling, stay with that, but start to add more friction. And then before we release this, you can decide where you want to lay your hands, and if there's some place on your body it's talking to you, or your heart, in your earth center, your lower 3 chakras, or over your eyes. And then go ahead and place your hands wherever you feel called to right now. Feel yourself supported by your own presence. Imagine that medicine from your palms in the form of heat, energy, is entering into your body. And take one more breath like this. And then gently release your hands and just do it slowly so you can actually feel, like you take your hands away, you can feel the cold air on your palms maybe. And now join your palms together in front of your heart with great reverence. Bow your chin. And we're going to set an intention for our practice. And we're going to take these first 2 words, I am, the 2 most powerful words in the English language, I am. And you're going to add your 3rd word. And I don't want you to overthink it. Just say I am, and whatever word pops out is probably the right one. And once you have your mantra of 3 words, just breathe it in and out a few times. Just feel yourself inviting that in. Maybe you're surprised by your choice of word. Maybe it's the exact word you need. And then take a nice full breath in, lengthen yourself tall. Pause, hold your breath, draw your belly in and up, drop your shoulders, and release your breath through your nose. And take a normal breath here. And then we'll open, practice, and chant that sound of Om together. Inhale. Stay as you are. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. Release your hands to your thighs, lift your chin, and open your eyes. Okay, oh yeah, give yourself a little massage. However you're sitting is perfectly great. Good. Okay, so we're actually going to start on our tummies. And you can put some blanket down if you like to lie on. And just show if you're using a blanket for a little bit of support. Then I like to have that blanket resting at the hip bone and down the tops of the thighs. So the thighs just have a little bit of support. And we'll just start with basic resting. Just let your head go, forehead to the floor, or turn your cheek to one side, whatever works best. And here on the belly, just coming back to the flow of your breath. And start to invite the breath more into the back if you can, so that you can feel that you're almost pressing from the inside out to expand through the low back, mid back, sides of your waist. And start to feel how the body moves with that breath. And this time, take your inhale, fill yourself up, pause at the top, hold the breath, and press from the inside out. And then release. And just take a normal breath. Good. And from here, we'll come up to Sphinx. So just coming up to your forearms, palms are flat. And I might rock a little bit side to side here, just loosening. You can turn your head in opposition to your ribs. Feel your back moving, your legs moving, whatever else is involved here. And now I'm going to take this into a bit of a circling so that I feel the forearms on the floor are pulling the floor, pushing the floor, and I can circle. And once you have that, then you reverse it and just circle the opposite way. The belly is moving. And then we'll just settle into the Sphinx for a moment. You can if your back is bothering you, take the forearms forward more. Move the shoulders away from the ears and then anchor down from shoulders to elbows. Extend your legs. So reach through your toes, tops of the feet. Smile. I'm going to pull the chin in. I get a little bit more into the upper back. Take one more breath. Good. And I'm going to lower down by taking my hands off the floor so that I lower down through the back, and then I'll bring the hands back in. Maybe go opposite palm over, like just switch it. Turn your head the opposite way if you had turned your head before, and just drop in and just feel. And then we'll come back to that expanding breath practice. So feel that you can breathe into your back, to the sides of your waist maybe. So there is muscular effort involved a little bit. You press that breath into your back. And then exhale completely, feel the body melt. And then inhale fully, hold the breath at the top. Press that from the inside out, expand your torso as much as you can just by pressing out. And then release everything, breath, body, and notice how you melt. Good. Okay, we'll come back up to Sphinx. Forearms to the floor. Open your legs apart. Move your shoulders, press into your elbows, and bend your knees. And if this gives you back pain, then you can do one at a time or don't do it. And start to rotate your ankles or come down if that's too much for your back. Just come out of your Sphinx. Good. And breathing. Rolling the ankles, and then reverse and circle the ankles in the opposite way. And then just point in, flex your feet. And then keep your legs as they are, just drop the feet together. Lower yourself down. So you might take the hands off and lower down, then place the hands, rest. And just come back to that breathing practice and to breathing into your back, sides of the waist. And notice, if you feel anything moving, like maybe the feet, the legs are moving as you breathe. Good. And then exhale completely, inhale fully, pause, press out, really open as much as you can. And then release everything. And you can keep your head resting. We'll separate the feet apart and we'll just come to this windshield wiper on your belly. So just rocking the feet side to side. You can keep doing that and come up to Sphinx if you like, but that just gives us more back bend or chest lift, whatever it is, you're fine either way. We're going to turn this into an egg beater. So you can come to stillness first and then kind of find, oops, you have a lot of stuff flying around, might be interesting. So just take your time. It's a bit of, if we do this on the tummy, when you're on your back, it's a little bit more coordinated. I find for myself, I have to really think about it. And then reverse, egg beat the opposite way if you get it. I think I'm just going the same way. There we go. Yes. Good. And then just come back to your windshield wiper. Maybe you turn your head if you're lifted, just to kind of look. And then we'll drop into this resting state with the feet together. I'm going to rub my feet together here. How often do you do that? And then we'll rest. So keep the soles of the feet together. Take your head down. If you want to stretch your legs out, that's fine. I'm going to keep mine this way. And come back to your breath. And just feel how things are starting to open. Maybe it's a little easier to breathe into your back, to expand. And then on your next exhalation, exhale completely. Inhale fully. Hold it at the top and expand yourself by pressing out all that whole circumference. And then release. Everything down. Keep your legs bent if you like. Just let your head go. And pause. Good. Okay. And then you can walk your thighs a little bit closer together. So your feet are just kind of, like your ankles are over your knees and you're more in a line. And then we'll come back up to Sphinx. But if this is no good, you don't have to come up to Sphinx. Okay, from here, I'm going to take the right forearm a little bit into center. Take the left hand back and just reach for the left foot. Whether you can get it or not, we're just going to hang out here for a moment. And then we'll switch. Left forearm down, take right hand, reach for your right foot. And we're just going to keep doing this a little bit. You're going to try and reach for if you can get the inseam of your foot. Do that. Good. Okay, now we're going to switch. So you go across and the left hand grabs the right foot and the right hand grabs the left foot. And maybe you can look, lift. Let's just, whatever you're doing, same foot or opposite foot. We're going to end off with the left hand reaching back. And then after you've done that, then just come back down. Let's stretch the legs out. Tuck your toes under and press the heels back. And then keep that same effort, you know, toes tucked under, heels are pressing back, and just rock your heels side to side. So you're actually, you know, you feel one thigh maybe lift, maybe the hips lifting. Good. And then lower down, rest, feel, and breathe. Okay, and exhale completely. Inhale fully. Hold it, pause, open yourself, press out all these muscles, go all the way around like your inner worm, inner snake, expand and release. Good. Okay, we're gonna stay on our tummies and you're just gonna open your arms out to about, you know, not in line with your shoulders, not right over your head, about halfway. Stretch your fingers, even take your time, look at each hand, and can you like press the palm down and extend the fingers? Create some space in your fingers. Yeah, good. And then from here, we'll rock a little bit side to side, bring your legs right together, and we'll bend the left knee, and we're just gonna take this left foot over to the right. So you'll lift the thigh up, take it over, you can look at your left hand, just reach that left foot to the right, and then release it down. And you can turn your head to look at your right hand, then the right leg, lift the right thigh, and reach that right foot over to the left. Good. And then release that down. We're just gonna go side to side. And you know, you can keep your head looking at that same hand, his foot, or you can go opposite. So when you lift the right leg, you look at the left hand. And when you lift the left leg, you look at the right hand. Good. I'm just moving in this little bit of a twist. Good. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's do one more on each side. And then we'll come back to rest. You might bring your hands in, rest your forehead, or turn your head to whichever side it's due, and just feel. And moving your breath into the back body. And then we'll take a nice full inhale. Pause, press out, open. And release. And just be. Okay, my friends. Come back up into your Sphinx. And we're going to take this into forearm plank. So I'm going to bring the hands together, interlace the fingers. You put them down, feel that little pinky. We don't want to take all the weight, so tuck them in, pinky on pinky. And then bring your elbows in a little bit more than you did before. Now press your forearms down and out. And as you push out, take the shoulders back. You can even push down with the forearms. Tuck your little toes under. Walk the toes a little bit more closer to your hips. So it's almost like you're shortening your legs. Then press their heels back, draw your belly in, push the forearms down and come up. I like to bring my thumbs together, I lift them up. I'm gonna smile, and then you might even rock front to back just by using your toes, if that's there. If not, you're doing great, whatever you're doing. Breathe. Good, let's walk this into forearm dog. So you start to lift your hips, walk your feet in, drop your head. Come wherever you go, it's all fine. Good. Notice if your heels are coming towards each other, press them out. Again, lower your knees to the floor, maybe right on your blanket. Tops of the feet down. Bring yourself into child's pose. And I'm going to take the hands, the arms straight in front of me, claw the floor, get long, 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 like as if these hands are just walking forward. Anchor the palms, extend through your fingers, plant the pads of your fingers into the earth, then drop yourself back. So when I take the arms forward this much, my hips are not on my heels. It's just what happens. But then I get this delicious place. I can release as if I want the hips to drop to the heels. And what I'm going to do is end up lengthening through my low back. Your vertebra will love this. Breathe. Good. And then walk your hands back and come up. Let's just sit for a moment on your heels if this works for you. And breathe. Okay, so we're going to come into Virasana. And you might use blocks or Bolster, whatever you've got. You make this as high as you need. So, you know, if you need 5 blocks, you know, you can always put them, you change and kind of find your way. So I have the tops of the feet are on the floor. They're pressing back on my knees. I'm just showing you how high you can go here. You make it what you need. And then once you're in it, we're going to take the hands and just lift the kneecap flesh. Hey, shh, quiet. Shh, pee. And then take your hands, and if you can rub your feet here, it might just be one at a time depending how high you are. No pun intended. And then just give them some nice little rub. So there's something kind of magical when you have your feet this way, and you can get into the arch in a different way. And then I'll take my hands down the foot and spread the toes. Okay, then sit up, you know, feel what this is for you. This is a lot of work. I honor your work. And I'm going to take this into a twist. So you might, you know, need a prop. You're going to put your right hand on the floor. You can even lean back. That's going to give you a little bit more stretch in the quad, or use a prop. Take your left hand across and just twist. I know this is not a happy pose. So we're just going to do this now. Switch to the opposite side. You can use your block or hand on the floor. Good. And then we'll release. We're going to keep the props there and just going to come to forearm dog again. So you can come up. Take your forearms down, change the interlace from last time, walk the elbows in, push the forearms out. Shoulders away from ears, tuck your toes under, and come up. Put your feet, if they need to walk out or walk in, but just move your heels away from each other. Press your thighs back, push the forearms down and away, and then take the shoulders down, the shoulder blades down your back. Good. And then lift your heels, lower back down onto your hands and knees. And I'm going to sit up on my shins before I move into Virasana. Take your hands to the inseam of your, press on your calves, and then push them out as you come down. You can adjust your height, your prop. Maybe you lift the kneecap flesh up. Good. Give the feet a little quick rub, separate the toes. Good. Okay, so I'm going to lean back a little bit. If you're feeling a stretch in the front of your quads, you just stay there. Otherwise, take your hands back if you can. Lift through your low belly. Drop your chin. Breathe. Okay, I'm going to give you one more little thing, is to anchor the tops of the feet, the toes down. And then maybe, I say one more little thing, there's a million. I'm going to push out through my knees. Good. Okay, and then come up. Good. Come back to your hands and your knees. I'm going to do forearm dog again. If you want to do regular dog, that's fine. Actually, no, let's do forearm dog, everybody, because I'm going to turn it into a dolphin. So I'll walk my knees back a little bit, tuck the toes under, and then come on up. Good. And then here, I lift the gaze, and I'll start to rock front to back. So a little shoulder flossing. So there's a bit of a plank and a bit of a dog. And if you can go all the way forward and touch your nose to the floor in front of you, that's the full dolphin, playful, happy. Good. And let's do one more. And then we'll come back for our last Virasana. So tops of the feet, I'll come up. Use that, calls ironing out the calves. Push them out. Find your sit. You can lift your knees. Breathe. Massage your feet, spread your toes. And I'm gonna come back to twist. So right hand behind, maybe to the floor, left hand over. Turn. And then switch. Okay, and we're gonna come off. So once you're here, come to your hands and your knees. Just do a regular dog. And from regular dog, take one hand and just move your props out of the way. Good. Okay, and then we did this elephant walk last night. So I try and keep the legs straight as I bring them forward. So you lift one heel up and move one straight leg forward and then switch. And you might need your blocks or come up to your hands. At some point it gets very, very crunchy. So you'll know when you need to bend. And then just come to your forward fold here. Just drop in. Just allow the whole back line of the body to melt. So if you need to bend your knees, that's going to release your back. What I see a lot in class is straight legs, and then the back lifts, the belly lifts. I'm even doing it right now. You take a little peek. So if this is you, bend your knees. As soon as you bend your knees, then you create space for the back. Then we can melt, and the legs will straighten over time. Like whatever needs to happen, or they won't. Good. Okay, we're gonna roll ourselves up. So bend your knees a lot. Take your hands to your thighs, and then roll yourself up. So you come up to standing. Last thing to lift is your head, and then just take a few breaths. Feel, yes. Good, okay. Tree pose. Yesterday we did tree pose standing on a block, and that sometimes is actually easier to balance. So I think I have my blocks here, and just on the momentum of yesterday, I'm gonna do that again. But if you don't have a block, you just do tree pose. It's all good. You can also hold on to the wall, if this makes you nervous. So I'm gonna start with my left foot on the block, and I take a moment. I actually do a little bit of this. Okay, secure. Then you'll stand up and you'll just be on the toes of the right foot. Then you anchor that left leg down. Lift your heart and put your hands on your hips or take them out to the sides, and then start to take that foot up. And it might come all the way up and it might not, and it's all fine. Once you're here, I'm gonna really anchor the left leg. And being on the block makes it a little easier. My arms are lifted high to the sky and my hands are wide open. And feel ankle, thigh, not ankle, heel and thigh connecting. Breathe. Hug the muscles in of your standing leg. Belly lifts. And then I'm going to exhale, release the hands first because I like to challenge my balance. I'm going to release this leg and just move it side, just front to back. If you're on a block, it's actually really easier. And then I'm going to let it hang while I push this left foot down. I'm going to let the right leg hang. Hug your thighs towards each other. And then lower down. Let the right foot come down. It's a nice little release for the hip flexor. And then just drop down, breathe, feel. Good. And we'll do the second side. So block, no block. All fine. Take your right foot, stand on it, and then really there's that, press down as you lift up. And I'll take that left leg and bring it in. wherever it's going to go, maybe high. And then find your anchoring. So like a tree, that standing leg is pressing down, your heart is lifting, you can lift your branches, open up all the twiggy fingers, imagine beautiful green leaves growing out on the tip of every finger. Breathe. I'm going to hug heel and standing leg towards each other. Lift through your belly. Smile. And then we'll release the hands first just to challenge. I'll take this leg down and I'm going to swing it. Ooh, on my balance and swing it. Yeah. Oops. And then I'm just going to let it hang. So I anchor the right leg, let the left leg hang. Breathe. And come down. And then just be. Just feel. Good. Okay. So I'll just move the block out of the way. And I'm going to turn to the side and put your hands on your hips. You don't have to turn to the side. I'm just doing that. I'm going to rock front to back on my feet for a moment. And then I'm going to rock from the outside of the feet to the inside. So the toes lift, just moving your feet. Yes. And then anchor your feet into the earth. Lift your belly, shift your weight over to your right foot. Take the left hand out with the palm up. And then bend your left leg, catch the foot. And maybe it's the inside or the outside. Squeeze the thighs together. Press the left knee down to the floor. Start to push the foot into the hand. Open the left shoulder. And now the right arm can come maybe in front of you or up. Yeah, I'm going to turn to the side, stay here, and then maybe start to even move this thigh back a little bit as you push into the hand. And then release. And stand and just feel. That was challenging. Smile. And then we'll do the second side. So I start with the hands on the hips. I always look at my feet because it's very easy for the habits to come in. Spread your toes, shift the weight onto the left leg, anchor it down like you did in tree pose. Right palm faces out, bend the right leg, catch the foot. And now squeeze the knees together. And wherever you are, you be here. Just anchor where you can. So the knee is pushing down, the top of the foot is pushing down, maybe the left arm comes out. And then you can start to push that foot back a little bit if that's there. I'm not going anywhere near my full range in this pose because it's not where we are right now. And just feel this. And then release. And pause and breathe. Good. Okay, beautiful. All right, I think I'm going to throw in a little sun salute here, take us back down. So you might bring your blocks up to the front if you have them. And then pause, feel. Yes. And as we inhale, we'll sweep the arms out to the side, reach up. And as you exhale, bend your knees, take yourself down into your forward fold. Hands to the blocks or to the floor. As you inhale, lift your chin and your heart. And as you exhale, fold again. Let's do that 2 more times. So as I come up, if I'm on the blocks, I can get my arms straight, pull the shoulders back, belly in, and exhale, fold, come to the floor. I'll still do that. And release. Good. Okay, from here, I'm going to step the left foot all the way to the back, so you can be on your blocks or on the floor. Good. And then we'll just straighten and bend a few times. Feel your breath. Feel your movement. Good. And we're going to take this to standing splits. Don't be scared. I'm going to bend into the front knee. Maybe you hop the back foot in a little bit. So you're going to straighten the right leg. You might take your hands forward too. And lift the back leg up. And you're still looking down. It's not, we're not opening the hip. The hip is coming down. And if you can drop down over your right leg, do that. Good. And then we're going to come back to lunge. So you can lift your head, you bend your knee, and you reach back with that left foot. Good. Step back, downward dog. I'm going to stay on my blocks. The heel of my hand is on the blocks. Step back here, and I use the blocks are on my mat, so they're not going to go anywhere. Press back, and then we'll elephant walk to the front again. So if you're on the blocks, you already have a little bit of help to take the floor up, and you can put the blocks on whichever height. Once you get to the front, inhale to the halfway, and exhale and fold. And notice the difference in the backs of the legs. And I'm going to anchor my hands. Inhale, lift the head and the heart. Step the right foot all the way to the back. Come into your lunge. And then we'll just do that same little straighten the legs and bend the knee. You need to wiggle your right foot back and make it longer or hop it in. Move your blocks to the highest height and whatever you need. You offer yourself. Good. Okay. And standing splits. So you bend in the knee, come into your lunge. You can hop your back foot in. Maybe the blocks are going to move forward. Straighten your left leg and lift the right leg up. And then bow down. Breathe. Anchor the back of that right thigh towards the wall behind you or the back of your mat. And then lower the leg down back into your forward fold. Good. Walk your feet back a little bit more. Yeah, and then bend your knees. Now I'm on the block, so it does make things a little easy. I'm gonna say easier, but I don't mean easy. Bend your knees, shift the weight back so that you feel maybe the hips are over your heels or past your heels. Breathe. Good. And then bring it forward, lift your head and your heart, and then we're going to step back to downward dog again. So I'm actually going to jump it just for fun. I'm going to put my blocks down, lowest height, bend the knee, give a little hop. Yes. Press back. Now we're going to take it to plank. So you can ditch your blocks or stay on them. I'm going to stay on them. Take your shoulders forward. Breathe and push down into the floor. Draw your belly in. Push the heels back. And then lower your knees to the floor and take it back for child's pose. And you might keep your hands on the blocks. And what's nice about that is you get this little, lift of the shoulders and extension through the sides of the waist. Walk your hands a little longer forward and breathe. So I have my whole hand is resting kind of in the center of my block now. My thumb and my pinky are on the outsides of the block. Good. Okay. Good. All right. We're going to come back onto our tummies. So I'll give you, fair warning. You can walk your blocks out. If you want to put your blanket back down, you can do that. And then just find your way back onto your tummy. And we'll just pause in this position we're in, just lying prone. And feel your breath. You can even slow it down if you need to. Calm your breath. And notice where you're breathing now. So we have this feedback from the floor. And if you feel more breath coming to the front than the back, that's fine. Just notice that. That's probably normal. That is normal. Most of us just breathe in the front and not through the back. But we can do it. We felt it. Okay. And now just come back to that idea of the breath work in your back. Do you feel that? You can bring the breath to the back. Feel the body moving. Good. Okay, take one nice full breath in. Pause, press out, open that breath as much as you can from the inside out, and then release. Good. Bring yourself up to your Sphinx. Let's come back to that little thing we did at the very beginning where you just turn side to side in Sphinx here and just feel, oh, maybe things are so much looser. Okay, and then we're just gonna hang out in Sphinx. I'm gonna really extend my legs, and you might just stay here. But if you're itching to go higher, you can take your hands, maybe, in front of your ribs or under your shoulders. Take the shoulders back as you push down. And as I'm coming up, my legs are widening. You come up wherever, however high it is for you, but keep the shoulders back. Think of the heart lifting. And exhale and release. Good. Okay, we're gonna come back to that twist. So we'll take the arms out 30 degrees, palms down, claw the floor, anchor your hands, spread your fingers, rock side to side to bring the legs together. And then we'll bend maybe the right leg first, lift it up, take it over to the left. Look at your right hand. And then come back and do the opposite. Look at your left hand. Notice if things are different, and then just continue. Maybe you turn your gaze now to the opposite hand, just moving side to side. Good. And finish off on your opposite side. So that would be the left foot coming over and then drop in. Come back to that breath. And then we'll take dancer pose here. So might come up to Sphinx to start. And then we'll fold in the right forearm parallel to the front of your mat. The left hand can go out to the side, so maybe it's on the pads of the fingers. Then you take that left shoulder away, bend the left leg, anchor your right hand, reach back, grab your foot, and then push the foot into the hand. Now I take my gaze forward. I might lift the right leg, lift the left thigh if that's there, extend the right arm, fly, lift, extend, and release, and feel the release. Come back to your breath. And then breathe into your back. Take one more full breath in. Pause, expand, and release. And second side. So left forearm down, right hand out to the side. You might rock a little bit, get the legs together, and then bend the right leg. Anchor your left hand, reach back, grab your foot if you can, or your pant leg, whatever you've got. Start to push that foot into the hand, open the shoulder, take your gaze straight ahead, and then you might lift the left leg, you might lift the thigh, you might extend, but you stop at any bus stop and breathe. And so I'm extending through foot, hand, and the foot I'm holding. And then release and breathe. Good. Okay, Dhanurasana. That's where we hold both feet, upward bow. And so if you need a strap, you can grab that. I'll say too, if you have a bolster, it does make things a little easier. I never really mean easier. But if you have a bolster and you lie on the bolster with your belly on the bolster, the hip bones coming down, thighs down, then when you bend the knees, you're already a little closer. So whichever one works for you is fine. Okay. I'm going to bend the knees. Then I love to see if I can reach back and grab them at the same time. See what happens. Okay, flex your feet, push the feet into the hands, take the shoulders up, and then come up wherever this is. It might just be here. You might lift your thighs, And lift your head, your heart, smile, and lower down. If you're using the bolster, you can keep it there because we're going to put one in or something for everybody. Just feel that. Okay, we're going to do it again. And if you're on a bolster, we're not going to be able to do this part. You're just going to do what we did before. But if you're not on a bolster, we're going to rock side to side. It just takes some coordination. So I'll do it really quick if you want to watch, and we'll just tell you the mechanics. So come up. Then I tip the legs over to one side. And it's really about the top thigh. Take it back. Oops. And then I'll do the other side, and I'll extend if that's there, and come back. Okay. So I'm back in the starting position. Breathe. Bend your knees. Reach back, whatever you've got. Breathe, lift, and then maybe you shift your weight over to one side, roll over. If that happens or not, you might surprise yourself, or you might take your head back, and then I'll roll over to the other side, and open, and release. And think if you were 5, how much you'd love that. Like your own little roller coaster. Okay. So if you have a bolster in place, great. If you don't, just press yourself up, grab a bolster, blanket, whatever you have. We're just going to really open the back as we move into the end of our practice. So I'm going to lie on the bolster with my belly. So the belly is right in the soft, creamy center. So your ribs are coming off. Feel the hip bones are dropping, thighs are dropping. And then lower your head down. And feel the glory of your breath in your back body. I'm just going to grab a drink. And just breathe into your back. And just starting, if you're not doing it already, start to kind of force the breath into the back a little bit. Just the same way we've been doing, pressing from the inside out, muscular action to open and receive. You know where your kidneys are. They're getting a nice little bath right now. And continue breathing here. If you have your head turned one way, you can turn it the other way. We're really opening. You come to the top of your inhale, press out, and it's a full exhale of release. So you can feel it. Okay, do 3 more very conscious, effortful breaths. All right, and then we'll just press ourselves up, hands and knees. And I'm just going to turn around. I still have the bolster the exact same way. You might need something for behind your head. So we're just going to lie back. Oh, so I'm just sitting here. You can move the bolster any way you like. And I'm just going to lie over it. So you might need something for your head. You can always bend your knees, throw a block. You know, if you bend your knees, it actually gives you more. I'm getting more of a drop here. And legs out. You're going to feel, if you have your legs out, you'll feel the backs of the thighs to the floor, hopefully. Then I'm going to take the arms out to this cowboy surrender so that, you know, the elbows are in line with the shoulders, backs of the hands to the floor. But if that's no good, you put your elbows on your bolster or arms below the shoulder height. And breathe. Okay, a little bit of discomfort will sometimes release itself, but if it's a lot of discomfort, you can come off the bolster, put something smaller, or just put another blanket underneath your hips to get rid of some of that deep angle. And just feel this container of your torso receiving this breath in a way you don't normally offer yourself this breath. And then from here, if your legs are straight, bend your knees. You're going to walk the heels in, lift the hips, take the bolster and bring it down to the sacrum. And then you can rest here with the knees bent or stretch your legs out. Whatever feels better for you. And just breathing. So I'm going to take this into child's pose on my back. So first thing I do, my friends, I actually press the back of my head down, lift the heart, the shoulders, and then bring the shoulder blades down the back a little bit. Then bend your knees, and you might lift your hips and put them back down. Pull the tailbone forward, put them back down, and then bring your knees in. And you might take your hands to hold them, or just keep your hands on the floor. And just allow the tailbone to kind of lift so that the thighs start to drop towards your belly. And if that's not happening for you, all fine. You're doing something you wouldn't normally do. Good. I'm going to take this a little deeper. Lift the feet up to the ceiling, and then the knees come forward more. Then I can start to even just let the feet drop towards the head. And I feel a nice big stretch right in the low back area. I might wave my feet side to side, just create some space, and then I'm just going to drop in. So allow the weight and this position to just allow the parts of you touching the floor to be very heavy. So you're melting yourself in. Now we're at the end of our practice, so not too strenuous, just let your eyes drop. And the breath is a little constricted, but that's okay. We'll just take a few more breaths here, just melting the upper back, softening the glutes. Good. I'm going to slowly, if your legs are extended, you're going to drop the heels down. And then just be in this. So now I still have my legs bent, but I've moved the thighs away from the belly. And I'm just going to do a little twisting. So I'll move the feet over to one side and the other a few times. Okay. And then from here, we're going to move into Shavasana. But if you're happy here, you want to lift your legs, open your legs wide, or even thread the needle here on your bolster. So one ankle over the knee, one ankle over the knee. I'm going to do that because that felt really, really good. And just be wherever you are. But if you're ready to move into Shavasana, then you can move that bolster down so it's underneath your knees. Cover yourself, but take your time. Explore where you are. But once you do come off the bolster, so your whole back is on the floor. And if you want to do legs up the wall, permission to do it all. Then just feel the whole back connecting, grounded. I'm going to grab the sides of my blanket and just roll it in. I have some support under my head and grab an eye pillow. And when you're in a bright space, an eye covering is one of the quickest ways to drop yourself in. So it doesn't need to be an eye pillow. It could be a face cloth, a sweatshirt, t-shirt. Just inviting in that darkness and this deep, intimate time with yourself. Dropping into your rest whenever you get here, melting yourself. So staying as you are, I've just folded my legs into cross-legged and I'm using the bolster for support. If that appeals to you, go ahead and rest in that position. Just as you start to descend a little deeper, maybe notice how the breath is just without, adding in any of the extra. Just feeling yourself breathing, maybe the front and the back and the sides of your waist. Just moving with your breath. If you're almost filling your container up with fresh oxygen, melting through your third eye, your jaw, the back of your heart. Just descending, dropping in more deeply. Even feeling your body spread out and melt to the floor. And you can choose to stay in Shavasana longer. You're starting to make your way out, and as you make your way out and you bend your knees, maybe hug the knees into your chest. Just for 3 or 4 breaths, just allowing the low back, mid back, just to get a little bit of a massage. You can rock a little bit side to side. And just flowing on from there as you're ready. Make your way slowly to seated. Take your time, or don't come at all, that's fine too. And once you come upright, make it comfortable, and then just take a few moments of just feeling your energy, the effects of your Shavasana. And once you're sitting for a few moments, then just going to take a little forward fold in the sitting, just almost like a bowing. You can maybe bring your hands together and drop your head, or keep your hands on the floor. And then slowly walk yourself upright. Joining your palms together in front of your heart whenever you get here, no rush. Bowing down to yourself, to your practice, to your effort, to your willingness to practice. And as you inhale, lengthen, lift your chin, and exhale as you are. And you join with me in our May We Be Blessed mantra. Inhale. May we be blessed in loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be healthy. May we be happy. And we'll seal that with one Om. Inhale. Bow your chin. Om Shanti, Om Peace, Om Namaste. Lift your chin and take a nice breath in. Breathe into your hands. Catch your breath. Open your eyes. And send it out. And send it out. Namaste, friends. So, there's a lot of back. If you start to feel anything in your back, you hug your knees, child's pose, a little twist. It's all good. So thank you for being here on Friday morning. Have a good weekend, my friends. We'll see you maybe on Sunday. Yes, girl.